Um, Hello, welcome everybody. My name is Greg. I'm the CEO of ZeroLag. I started the company about 12 years ago, and one of the things that we focus on is fully managed infrastructure, and I'll be talking today about the advantages of fully managed versus other management models. ZeroLag is a Magento, excuse me, Magento enterprise partner, platinum partner, and we understand and really focus on the highest levels of performance, reliability, security, and we believe that we're a really great fit with Magento and the enterprise relationships, and especially the collaborative work between developer, client, and host. And we've been doing this for many, many years. And myself, I've been doing it for over 20 years. So, what is, what is something that people look at when they're looking at hosting? And sometimes people just look at cost. And cheap hosting very commonly actually doesn't actually save you money. It actually costs you more because the environment is unstable and you have unexpected outages. You can't get a hold of customer support in a crisis. And these sorts of things lead to client loss, and which can be very expensive. They really lack on security procedures. And what's actually one of the more surprising or more common things that happen in a non-fully managed model is a lack of full backups. We're always very surprised when we're doing rescues from other hosting companies. When they say why they are switching to us, they've had a failure of backups, and cannot describe how much pain these people are in when data is not there, they're not able to do e-commerce transactions, and they're not able to do any restore from the backups they believe that they had. So just to zoom in on one particular aspect of this that's unique for in a fully managed model is having a human being actually verify the backups are happening and doing some kind of audit process on that. This is something that the cheap hosting solutions, or even when you're doing it yourself, is often skipped or not done. And I don't know how many of you have suffered data loss, but it can be very, very painful. The enterprise hosting on a fully managed model is a really great fit. So just to talk about the different kinds of hosting models, fully managed, which is what we're primarily talking about today, means that the fully managed host is taken care of and is solely responsible, which is a really important part of the integrity and the security of the operating system and the rest of the application stack. So Percona, MySQL, Apache, Nginx, Memcache, those sorts of software will be run and managed by the fully managed hosting team. And they have years of experience in producing the services that would be the most stable and secure. Co-managed means that the hosting company is no longer ensuring the integrity of the system, and it's up to your team to make sure that security is being handled properly, backups are being handled properly, and you need to make sure that these things are happening yourself, which is a time-intensive process and maybe something that is not on the highest priority list for most companies. And then unmanaged or co-location means that there's not another company. In co-managed, I should say that you do have support, but you have to get it on demand. It's not just there, ahead of the curve and being proactive. In unmanaged or co-location means that the hosting company will rack the server, but it's up to you to do all the management aspects. So this chart shows a grid of the various services and what the different management models include. So the operating system, being installed, sure, the managed and co-managed companies do that, and unmanaged, you do it yourself. And then the software stack, which is a really key part of the differentiation With managed, fully managed, that means that they are making sure that it is being handled for you, and there is a process by which this software has been deployed. Typically, when there are issues, they keep being rolled up so that there are constant improvements, and then all of the client base would benefit from that. In a co-managed, the software stack could be supported, but certainly wouldn't have some of the benefits in a fully managed model where there's a standard process and procedure by which the software is installed and run and monitored. And again, in unmanaged, you're responsible for all those aspects yourself. Another line item is the proactive security patches. With fully managed, you have a team of people that are watching security alerts, services for problems, and then working to notify you and say, hey, we need to schedule a downtime to patch for this issue or work with you to address this. In co-managed, this is not something that is happening, and you are really responsible for these, watching the security issues yourself. And in self-managed or unmanaged, you're definitely doing all these things yourself. So what does this mean? In a fully managed environment, the stability is really guaranteed because you have an expert team of administrators who are working solely on making sure that the software and the operating system are really working together very well. That is their only focus, and it really pays tremendous dividends in the stability. So there is a trade-off, though, and the trade-off is that you do not have root or administrative privileges on servers that are fully managed, and if you do want to make configuration changes to many of the aspects of the operating system or the application, you have to open a ticket and discuss what you're trying to do. And that actually is something that, as time goes by, developers or clients actually come to very much like this because it's a locking mechanism to prevent accidental mistakes. Where in co-managed, unmanaged, you can definitely get things done faster, but you can have very unintended side effects. You still have SSH and FTP access, so you have no restriction on being able to update your code. Your application software is still available to be updated on demand. So it's all about the approach. We talk about infrastructure as the equivalent to the foundation of a house. You don't have a good foundation to the house, and it doesn't matter how good the house is going to have problems. So you could take the same house and put it on good or bad foundation. Obviously, in this picture here, you've seen that they've had to stack bricks on the side of the building to make up for the lack of foundation. So that stack of bricks is, an analogy for cost and effort in trying to fix a problem that if you just had a good foundation to start with, it just wouldn't have, these situations wouldn't have come up. So if your foundation is not stable, you could end up, with all sorts of unintended problems and increased costs and reduction in performance and security. So with fully managed, it's really important to understand that it's a common goal to produce an e-commerce application site which produces, the absolute best performance, reliability, and security, and really creating the best experience for the end users. And so we'd like to think of this as a team approach. Magento as a e-commerce software platform running with application developed by a Gold or other solution provider, and then hosted, on a hosting partner that has deep expertise in the applications that are going to be used, and how different choices can impact the performance and security of the environment, which ultimately results in clients being happier, buying more, better conversion rates, and thus, it's really a great symbiotic relationship. So, I would just wrap up that Zero Lag considers this to be something that we're calling the peace of mind as a service. You can know that there is a staff here or in any managed environment working to help you out 24 hours a day, and no matter what the problem is, we can immediately start working with you to fix these things. For Zero Lag's case, there are many clients that we have that are just come to us from other hosting companies or other hosting experiences, and they absolutely just become enthralled with the experiences they have and how much we do for them versus where they've been before, and they're just always surprised about that. So thank you very much. I would be glad to take any questions that anybody has.